Let me re-record. So I'm just sharing my screen where you can see we can see the whiteboard part.
Yes.
Okay. So please pay attention. Okay. So if it's boring, you can disconnect. Okay. So I was really talking about the mobile device management history. Okay. So why it is important again? Why? Because a lot of people really directly because they are today. Okay. So we are just talking about 2024. Okay. So how did we evolve for the last 20 years? Is very important to understand. Okay, so why? Because the fundamental reason for mobile device management is to manage a phone. So what is the meaning of management of the phone now? So why should we manage a phone? So okay, so why do companies need to manage a phone? So what is management for people who are already working? So what is the management part? What do you mean by management? Okay, so management. Okay, so can anyone confirm if they can see the whiteboard now?
Yes, Raj.
Yes,
Okay,
sir. Yes.
so management is nothing but okay. So we need to manage the device. Okay, so that is the meaning of this particular device. It clearly means we are managing the device. When we say the managing the device is basically to enforce a passcode to maybe okay if it's a corporate device, I don't want them to use the camera. I don't want them to use the Bluetooth, or I may probably don't want them to use some of the security features or some of the settings, some of the features on the phone. Okay, so basically we are managing the device on the phone. Okay, so that is device management. Okay, can we just do that without any? I mean, in order for any device management, we need to enroll a device into a MDM solution. Okay, so MDM solutions can be many. Okay, so the MDM solutions, uh, if you look at the history, it was started from 2001, 2020, or I mean 2000 or 1999. Okay, so BlackBerries was the first one to start managing those devices. Okay, so the way it was actually worked is these were all assume that these were BlackBerry devices. There was a BlackBerry enterprise server in between. Okay, so this was like an MDM server, acting like an MDM server. These were like, these are BlackBerry mobile devices. Okay, and this was the exchange on-premise solution. Okay, where emails were, I mean, it was an exchange solution. Or you can say there was other Lotus Domino. Okay, so the IBM Lotus Domino again was a email provider, just I mean the email server, right? Just like Exchange server. So these were all connected to BlackBerry server, and that is when if any new emails come, BlackBerry only purpose of those emails were, I mean, the purpose of the main reason companies provided BlackBerry devices was to read and write emails, right? So to respond to emails, and hence these were provided to the senior management, right? So and now and then fast forward 6 7 years. Okay, so we had iOS devices and Android devices. Okay, so 2008 2009. So that is when AirWatch came into picture, and similarly Mobile Iron, and there was Mass 360 within, like, a new technology comes, and there'll again a new company who comes in to manage devices. So BlackBerry devices were losing relevance, and almost all the companies started replacing Android and iOS devices as their corporate devices, issuing to VIPs or some of the work related devices were now Android and iOS. Okay, so the number, I mean, the at that point of time, the number one player was AirWatch. Okay, so there was a company called Mobile Iron. Okay, so and there was a company called Mass 360. Okay, so there was something called GORD. Okay, so these are all the top companies back in 2008, 2014, like 13, 14. That is what is time frame. Complete market leaders. Every company started using any of these products. Okay, not that these are the only four products in the market. There was even called SOTI. People might have heard. Okay, so they were around. Even today, there are around 100 plus MDM providers. Okay, so there's 100 plus or 200 plus MDM solutions. But the famous ones are the enterprise companies used any of these five products at any point of time. Okay. So now the main purpose of these companies was to manage a mobile device in terms of hardware features, like enforcing passcode, blocking camera, enabling Bluetooth. Okay. So whatever the device provides, Android and iOS, we need to provide those control those features through an MDM solution like this. Okay. So 2015, 16 and all, Intune started to enter into this space. Okay, in the mobile space. Intune anyways was managing 8.1 and Windows 10 very it was the only cloud. Intune started in cloud, okay? All of them were on-premise solutions. Slowly they started to move to cloud solutions. Okay, so Intune was always a cloud solution. It was never an on-premise solution. Intune started in the cloud and continues to stay as a cloud subscription-based product. So, and then they started into mobile devices. There was no competition. Those are all the top five players in the MDM space, and slowly Intune started to enter the picture, and that is where they came to MDM. Okay, so Intune also started to become a good player. So back in 2016, around this time. So there was not, no competition again. Okay, so again, the same six or seven players at that point of time. So when we say MDM and device management, right? So a lot of terminologies went in last 10 years. Okay, they started MCM. Okay, so mobile content management, where they can distribute content to those mobile devices so that the companies can start using or employees can start using those content, like files. Like now every company partnered with the storage providers, and companies like Intune already had OneDrive. Okay, so an AirWatch, Mobile Air, they already had their cloud-based file sharing system where it was integrated to the mobile phones. And if company needs to share a file, or your manager needs to share a file, they used to send it to their mobile devices to those storage spaces. So all that is nowadays not there. Okay, so it's now they just use a OneDrive. Okay, or these companies start to integrate with your company's file sharing services like Dropbox or Box or Sharefile or any of those things. Okay. So yeah, forgot to mention Citrix MDM was another famous one. Okay, the third best product. So all these now lost relevance. Okay, now Intune and AirWatch, which is okay. So AirWatch as again was purchased by VMware in 2014. Mobile Iron in recently couple of years back was purchased by Ivanti. IBM was sorry, Maastricht 360 was purchased by IBM. Good was purchased by BlackBerry. Okay, so Citrix, yeah, still now is there as a standalone company. So Citrix MDM was still considered is still there. Okay, along with NetScaler and Synapse and Desktop, all of these products. So and then there was already a product called as Casper Suite. Okay, they renamed it as JAMF. So JAMF is big famous because it was only specifically initially was managing only Apple devices. Okay, Mac OS, iOS, Apple TVs, all of that. Okay, even now it's still a predominantly a Apple device management. And if there is there are companies who have two products. One, they use JAMF to manage all the Apple products, and they use Intune to manage the Android and the Windows mobile devices in their organization. And today, if you see, Intune now started to get almost matches the JAMF right now when it comes to iOS. So Mac OS, pretty much there are few things that not up to what JAMF is providing today. But when it comes to the MDM APIs, whatever Apple has provided, okay, almost all the top companies are easily able to provide because of the version 2 and the direct API integration between MDM solutions and the Apple. I don't see there will be any feature parity. Okay, so if say for example, if Apple releases an MDM API to control certain feature of Apple Watch, almost all the companies will get that feature immediately. Okay, there is no special that like oh AirWatch is giving that feature, Intune is not able to give that feature. Oh, JAMF is giving this feature, Intune does not have that feature. It doesn't work that way since last 1 year. Okay, because in the back end, all the MDM solutions are now able to grasp the MDM APIs that Apple releases. Those JSON files and XML files are automatically converted and they are distributed. They can be configurable in the MDM console. So not a difficult part now. So that is how, as of today, okay, so history is simple now. There will be only one product in next few years. Okay, and that will be our max, you can say one or two products. So any product, you take any product, any sunset product, you'll always have customers left behind. Okay, it's nothing special. So for example, Domino, Lotus Domino email, right? So even after the retirement, there are still few people, few customers who use it. Just like how Windows 7 is being used for by some customers, Windows XP is used, 2003 servers. Okay, they're all expired, they're all out of support, but still, uh, there will always be companies who continue to use their old products because they are working, they don't have budget to change. Okay, so but if you move to a lot of companies today, you will find a lot of migration projects from AirWatch, Mobile Iron, IBM Master 60s, and uh, to Intune. And you will see a lot of projects from JAMF to Intune and not the other way around. Okay. You will hardly find out of 10 projects. You go to any company, whoever is working right now here in the call can confirm. Out of 10 projects, you will see 9 projects moving away from other product to Intune. Okay, there would be some rare case, unique case where someone is migrating from Intune to JAMF, Intune to AirWatch. So, but not very few. Okay, so that's the reason why you all need to understand what are the competition, which is the competing products for Intune when it comes to mobile devices. Okay, Windows is a different ball game. All that is handled differently. Your competition products are different. You can start moving to Intune Windows with a different way, but for mobile devices, these are different companies, different competition, different projects, different teams also. Okay. So in companies like JPMC, all this Wells Fargo and all, right? So there is no connection, there's no attachment between a team who manages Windows devices to a team which manages mobile devices. Okay. Those are completely different teams, completely different management. All there will be one person who gives access to Intune related to mobile devices. One team gets access to manage Windows devices with Intune. Okay, so that is all how it is handled through our back controls. Okay, so now assume that now you all have Intune. So we are now talking about Intune and mobile device management. Okay? So again, this is Android, iOS, or Mac OS. Okay. First point to note, a very important one. So Apple devices have inbuilt MDM agent. Android don't have an inbuilt MDM agent. Instead, they need to install an MDM app to manage. Okay. When we say manage, there should be some kind of MDM solution to push something to it. Okay. So this MDM is now for us Intune MDM. For these devices to be managed, we need to enroll these devices to Intune. Okay, the meaning, again, it is called enrollment. Now the question is, who enrolls? So there's again two ways of enrollment. If you join a company and if you need access to emails, if you need access to some kind of content, it's up to your decision to go ahead and enroll your devices to your company's Intune MDM or any other MDM so that your device is now managed and your company's is now okay to provide access to your emails, access to your OneDrive, access to your company applications. It can be any application. Okay, so it can be your HR application, your payslip, your payroll application, your parking, your cafeteria, your any kind of HR application, leave absence, any other application that your company wants to give employees, they can start distribute the applications, provided your device is now managed. Okay, so assume you join the company, you enroll the device to Intune. Okay, and now Intune after enrolling, they'll start providing access to all of these services. And Intune, the enrollment actually start with Intune company portal. Okay. So this is the MDM agent for Android. Okay. For iOS, there are different iOS enrollment remains same throughout every MDM provider. It has no special thing called Intune MDM. Okay, the URLs are a bit different. I mean, if you want to manage an iOS device, you need to go to Intune URL. Okay, so your own company's MDM URL. Okay, so that is a web-based enrollment, or you can still download Intune company portal. Okay, so Intune company portal is again an App Store application where you can download and enroll the device to Intune. After enrolling in iOS, you actually get a certificate. Okay, a profile. The profile has a certificate. So once the profile is there, it now this MDM agent will now start communicating to Intune MDM. The communication is always between Intune and the inbuilt MDM agent of Apple devices. Okay, but initially the enrollment can be done in any way. Okay, so you can go to Safari browser, enroll into your company's web enrollment page for whichever your IT provides. During the enrollment, you need to enter your username, password, and then during the enrollment, we'll see all that. Okay, so a certificate profile will download, and now that then going forward, the communication is between this MDM and Intune, and now your device can be managed. That is called enrollment. In Android case, your application will now start communicating with MDM, your Intune company portal. This remains standard with all MDM, okay? Even if you go to JAMF or even if you go to AirWatch or Mobile Iron, any other product, they have their own agents. For Android, there is a Workspace ONE agent. For Mobile Iron, there is a their own agents to download and enroll, okay? For Android, you need an application because that is a client application to manage an Android device. For iOS, only during the initial enrollment, you can leverage an application just for entering username, password, triggering your profile, download, all of that. But after the enrollment, this application is useless. You can uninstall the application. your MDM communication will still continue to go. Okay, it is just like Windows. Windows has an inbuilt MDM agent. You enroll the device, it will continue to enroll. Okay, so there is no agent for Windows. Similarly, there is no agent for Apple devices. Only Android has agents. And that is not unique with Intune. That is unique with, I mean, it's not MDM related. It's the platform platform limitation, or you can feature, you can say. Okay, and Apple works that way. Android doesn't work that way. Any questions here so far? Any confusion? This is very fundamental. Okay, very fundamental. I'm sure many people already have Intune company portal or any other MDM in your mobile devices. If you guys are accessing emails or joining Teams meetings, one or the other way, you guys must have installed Intune company portal. Okay, anyone?
Yes. When I enrolled my company's MDM into my personal phone, yeah, I did it in the similar way.
Others too, right? Sadly, I mean, if not MDM, some other.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is how it actually works. Okay, so it depends. Okay, not now. Uh, okay, so what do we get after MDM is managed? So this is your device. So since your device is now managed, I can see some of the information. Okay, so I can clear. It depends on what way you manage the device. A lot of things will get confusing going forward. So, and hence they made it as simple, user-based and device-based enrollment. If it's a device-based enrollment in iOS, you can actually wipe the device. Okay, so if it's a user-based enrollment, you cannot wipe the device, and you will not have a lot of control for an administrators to see. They can't see the phone numbers. Anyways, they can't see the phone number. Like, they can't see IME numbers apart from last few digits. The phone carrier they can see. Okay, so very limited information that Apple allows their MDM solutions to see in the reporting. Okay, same goes with Android as well. So I was coming back. In every company, there is something called as a personal devices, which is you as a personal device, or corporate device. Or here you can say there's a lot of gap. Okay, so it is BOYD is can overlap in both the cases. When you say BOYD, it can be your personally owned, or even it can be corporate owned. Okay, they can pay you money, you can bring your own device, I can start using it for company purpose and hand over the device, or pay the device amount and then leave the company if you're leaving. Okay, don't always get confused with BOYD is a personal device. Okay, so whether it is a personal or it is a corporate device, that is a unique distinction that we have to make, and we have to talk the way you all talk. So, second. So personal devices, why should it be managed? That is again a big question now. Are you okay with all of your personal devices being managed by your company just for emails or Teams or anything? So maybe we may allow it, but in European countries during because of the GDPR restrictions or some other data restrictions, when it comes to personally identifiable information, they don't allow MDM devices to be enrolled for personal devices, certain countries at least. Okay, so that is when a concept called MAM came into the picture. Okay, again, you keep on listening this word. All this is very, very important concepts, standard interview questions or L1, L2 basic questions. Okay, what is MDM? What is MAM? So here during MDM, after the device is enrolled, we manage the device. But here we only manage the application. That is a here. It's the mobile application. It's the same in Intune MDM. Sorry, it is the same in within Intune module within console. We manage only the applications of the users. The way it actually works is technically you join a company, you download an Outlook application, right? You join a company, you download an Outlook application to read emails. Your HR says on the first day, guys, if you want to access company emails, you can use your mobile phones and download Outlook and start using it. Or you can start using Teams applications to join Teams. I think most of them are doing it. They can even download OneDrive and they can start using uh, OneDrive for file file collaborations. So, but mainly Teams and Outlook are the standout applications that people want. Okay. So now, how can I allow access to Outlook without the device being managed? It's really, really completely against the data protection policy, right? If you get an attachment, you can send it to WhatsApp, you can download it to your phone, right? So have anyone, this is all general discussions, okay? These are all very simple, common discussions. If you guys already are aware of it, please let me know, okay? Go a bit faster. But if you're not aware, these are the only things that are discussed day to day in your office, okay? As an Intune admin or an Intune consultant, when you're in this role, the day-to-day conversation between your team and your security team and the policy makers within your customer are such things. So now my question to everyone is, uh, why, is it okay for your companies to allow Outlook or any kind of email on your mobile phones? Nothing new, okay? So anyone can answer?
Yes, Raj. I have configured my company Outlook on my personal device.
And you can do anything you want, right?
Uh, I
I
cannot
mean,
download the attachments. I think to my phone that is restricted. Uh,
okay.
copy the content of the email to other email, other Word document or something. It is restricted. I think
Mm-hmm.
those are and some policy set. I think not to do all those things.
Okay. Where do you think the policies are set?
I think Intune or AirWatch.
So your company uses AirWatch?
Okay, we use Intune. I think the setup policy there or O365. I don't know where is that policy coming from.
Okay. How about others?
So
Any
Raj, what we
inputs?
have done, we have configured the Intune, and on Intune we have put it the app protection policy where only the authorized application, which is Microsoft, can be used, not the phones application like Samsung has email. There's a lot of vulnerability in that. iOS also have same thing. The mail has a lot of vulnerability. If the user is not updating, it's on the risk. So that's why we have put it only the Microsoft authorized application will be work. And on the copy paste thing, we have applied on app protection policies. We applied where copy paste will be only available on the authorized application. So if anyone has an email and he want to copy the content to the WhatsApp and send it to someone else, it's blocked. It cannot be used. For some exceptional, we have allowed it, but for all, we have blocked it. In this way, we have done it.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. So now everyone got the picture, right? So here, the whole purpose of managing, when we use the word managing, we don't want to leak the data. Okay, that is the fundamental reason. Okay, so you cannot join a company or you cannot start working in a project where all the sensitive files you have access to your phone, where you're able to download to your phone storage and start sending it in WhatsApp, uploading to Google Drive. Okay, so you cannot take screenshots of your emails and share it to in a public. Okay, so all these are sensitive matters when it comes to IT security, CISO team. Okay, so it's because when it comes to mobile devices, half of your conversations initially will always be with your security team. Same thing goes with OneDrive. Okay, so if you get any files with OneDrive, initially when people didn't knew, there are so many companies who lost uh, even the business critical data. Okay, so patented information. There was some drug company where people have moved between all the trade secrets, formulas between one company to another company. There was an entire team moving from one competition to another competition, like Novartis, Takeda, all this. There's so many pharmaceutical companies who really came out to identify all these issues. Okay, it was a $1 million lawsuit that was filed, but that was just happened with a few of 4 5 users misusing their data. Okay, so very critical. Okay, so these are all fundamental things, and now again it's they are now planning to enable all these by default. The way it actually works is even before the thing is you have Office 365 email. Everyone knows it, right? So Office 365 uses an Exchange ActiveSync protocol. Now it uses a modern auth with Exchange again ActiveSync. If you have Office 365 today, your company, you go ahead and start using any mobile application, Gmail, your native email, Samsung email, Apple Mail, or even your Windows device Outlook mail, or any other mail application, you can just configure it by default without any restriction or any other further security asks. If you, I mean, if there's a new company which just joins, they purchase Office 365 license, they purchase M365 license, they do everything. A new company, new greenfield, 100 users join. On the first day, if there is an IT admin who doesn't change the default settings, if there is a new user created in Office 365, he can access emails, OneDrive, Teams, SharePoint without any restriction. Okay, maximum it may ask OTP and MFA, that is all fine. But these emails by default are not protected as soon as it lands on the phone. So this is the fundamental, and this needs correction, and that is the reason why we have MAM policies. Okay, what the way we are getting thing is like, you got this point, right? Go to a native Gmail application, click on add account, click on Microsoft 365 or Office 365, add your company email. Okay, if it gets added, then your company is not using conditional access. If it if I mean if it doesn't get added, your company is using conditional access. So that's a first checkpoint. So if on a new company, on a new tenant, all these are not configured. Okay, so these will land on your phone, attachments will land on your phone. You can save your attachments. No one is going to ask anything. You can forward those attachments through WhatsApp, or you can send anything. Take screenshots, copy the entire email content. All this, how do you think all these emails like from Sundar Pichai, all these were leaked? Okay, so these are all business information, right? So even the confidential emails screenshots were taken in some big companies like Netflix. Okay, the CEO's emails, okay, all these firing emails, all those were in public, right? So they want to block all of these actions. So it's very important for them to give access to emails. They don't want to block it. After COVID, everyone are getting used to take meetings in Teams. You cannot block Teams from mobile phones today. No one will open computers every time, right? The meetings are now, I mean, the companies are global. You can take meetings anytime. Okay, so your employees are sitting in a different part of the world. So you cannot take away access of emails or Teams or OneDrive or some of the Word, Excel sheet, all of this modifying documents that you need for editing. Okay, so everyone has it on their mobile phones. IT's responsibility is to control those applications data. Okay, clear application data. The way it actually works is whatever is there within your Outlook application, it will stay within Outlook application only. Okay, it will not come out and get stored on your phone. Okay, so we are protecting the application. Okay, and that application can be only protected if it uses the respective Intune SDK. Okay, or yeah, so Intune MAM SDK. So you can take in any application, recompile that application with Intune MAM SDK. Your application can now be protected through Intune MAM policies. So out of the default, you don't have to recompile these applications, and Microsoft by default has a gallery which provides all these default Microsoft applications, which is already MAM enabled, which is already recompiled with MAM SDK. And if you have your own personal applications, company's owned business application, you can recompile with app wrapper, or you can create, SDK is used to build an application, but again, there is something called as app wrapping tool where you can wrap the application, recompile it to enable application policies. I know it is confusing. Don't get worried. We'll just talk about that in detail. Maybe uh, for people who have little bit of experience, maybe they might have understood. But main purpose is when it comes to MDM is to manage a device, and this is absolutely needed if it is a corporate device, isn't it? So who gets corporate devices? Okay. Now, if you go to bank today, to an Axis Bank or ICICI Bank or any other bank, you will see like salesmen holding those iPads. Okay. So those are all corporate devices. Okay. So if you go to good hospitals like Manipal or some other good hospitals, nowadays doctors have iPads. The system has been there in other Western countries for a long time, but nurses in almost all the NHS or any other European and the foreign countries, USA and all, the nurses have complete patient data, all of the vitals recorded, all sensitive information, the entire history, medical history for last 20, 30 years based on their insurance company, all those in their own medical service. And to access those data, you need iPads, and every nurse, everyone has their iPads. Schools and universities, every student gets an iPad. Every factory worker, every frontline worker gets an iPad, gets a Android, Samsung notebook. So these are all corporate owned devices and they need to be managed more than personal devices. Because now that you have corporate apps followed by corporate data. Okay, so that is purely MDM managed. Okay, so MDM actually, okay, so MDM is clearly corporate managed, and personal is purely your personal devices. On a personal devices, typically it is application management, which means that we are only managing applications. Okay, so if you have not understood what is MAM, mobile application manager, think of this. People who are already using Paytm in India, they will not be able to take screenshots once you make a payment, right? Even the Kotak Mahindra Bank or some other banking applications you see, as soon as you take the screenshot, it says your app is protected. Okay, people who have not experienced the company MAM, company portal, or I mean the our Intune ma'am experience, that is how they feel like. Okay, so you'll not be able to do anything once you open those applications. Anyone can just confirm any banking application which doesn't allow you to take screenshots? Can you all give examples? Okay. So that is, I mean, anyways, you will see all that. So that is called mobile application management. We are only protecting applications. I don't have any control of your phone. I cannot enforce a passcode. I cannot enforce something. I cannot block your camera. I cannot block your Bluetooth. I don't have any personal information of yours, your mobile number, IME number. I don't have anything in the Intune space at all. I don't have anything in Intune console. I don't even have your device. All that I can say is I will not even have your device recorded in Intune console at all as a managed device. It will be somewhere else in a different report. But these devices which are MAM managed will not have any kind of thing. Okay. So this is very basic. Now I'll really start. Okay. So, but I'm really confused, like, whether you guys really at least got what I told today.
Yes, Raj, I'm clear.
Okay. So that is fine. Okay. So we'll talk about now Android. The reason why again Android is, like, most people will go to have Android phones, and okay. So this is my Intune console, right? So if you actually look at it, you just look at this, okay? So I think as soon as you open Intune console, now we really added, I mean, Microsoft has added really good features like the Intune customer success. Okay, as you can see, the one that I was just discussing today, Intune MAM users on iPad and iOS user-less devices where there is no user may blocked in rare cases. Okay, so you can just look at the support tip on how to eliminate all of that things, because a lot of things when it comes to Apple devices, it's because iOS and Apple are just changing with every version. Okay, so again, by the time it changes, a lot of few things don't work, and these MDM solutions again need to, okay, redevelop, okay, so recode, fix those issues in a different way, and that takes time. There are a few features which get zero support, and there are 0-day support even before Apple releases it to public. Almost all the top MDM solutions are now